yourself now, we do.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, there we are. Come on. Lost myself. Oh, why does it do that every time I click that then? Got a bit of a nodding donkey situation. Right, okay. I can see myself. Alright, well, I don't think anybody's jumped on just quite yet. But I'm going to get started anyway. This is a kind of impromptu live, if you like. Just really to say hi to all the people who have joined very recently. And I know there's quite a few of you. And the other thing is that I was going to do this boho page anyway. And I thought that why not, you know, save it for a live and show you what I do. So first of all, I just wanted to show you the results of last night's live. We did the baseboard and whatever, and this is what I've managed to do today. So you see they're nice and sparkly. They've got gilt foil on them and some liquid pearls. We've got all sorts of different colours. So they've come out very nicely, I think. I'm really quite pleased with those. So pop those away. I just wanted to show you that we'd actually made the completed article. Right, the boho page that we're going to do today is, it's the back of this one. I'm actually doing a ring bound journal, which means that the pages will go in this way and there will be a hinge, well, I call it a hinge, a thing that goes down there, and it's got holes in it, and the rings go through the holes like a file folder, just exactly the same as a file folder. And you can unclip them and you can take the page away with you if you want to. These are the rings that go in there, and all the pages will fit onto there. The reason that I do this is, if I make it an ordinary journal with, you know, an ordinary signature or whatever in it, it gets so fat and bulky that you can't actually write on the pages because of all the stuff underneath. Whereas if I do it like this, it's transportable. You can take it away with you, and all the pages pretty much have got things that, that's not attached yet, that come out. So this one, for example, it's got this little pocket here. It's got 3 of these tags that you might recognise in there, and I've backed those with paper so they are really good journaling spots. You know, you can write on there no problem. Then there's this back pocket, and it's got 2 of these in it, which are really, you know, lots of space for journaling on there. And I've prettied them up, you know, embellished them, and they fit into this back pocket. Now, what we're going to do today is the opposite, the back of it, if you like. But I make it as an individual pocket page all in its own right, and then I sew them together around, you know, stick them and sew them, including the hinge, and then we will have a complete leaf, if you like, in our journal. So the bit that's going on the back is this, and it's just a piece of scrapbooking card cut to size, 8 by 6 I think it is. It's quite a big journal, and it's got a front pocket on it made of the same some of the same paper that I used on the other side, just to keep it all tied in. And then it's going to have a journaling card, and I haven't decided yet which journaling card to use, either the pink one or the turquoise one, but we'll see once we've got it sewn what we fancy, and then this will get embellished and blah blah. But I've cut them to size because you don't need to see me do that. I'm sure you're very capable. So the first thing to do is just gently glue this around the edges, and then I'm going to sew it. But if I don't just gently glue it first, it has an awful habit of moving around when you get it to the sewing machine, and you end up a bit skew with. So I don't want much glue, just a little bit on there. I've just got a glob of glue there and there. That's what trousers were invented for. Oh, I've got another one there. Thank you. So I've pre-marked on here where I want this to go, because I'm trying to keep this video short. Those of you that know me will know that I try and keep every video I do short, and very, very seldom do I succeed. But there's not much with this one. There shouldn't be anyway, if things go according to plan. Right, so that should be pretty square on there. Let's just check it. It's an inch up there, and it's slightly less than an inch there. So I'm just let me get my hand in the edge that isn't glued. Just pull that up a little bit to there, and I'm sure that's fine now. Right, so I'm just going to sew around there, so just bear with me a minute while I do that. Okay, just straight stitch. It's not the straightest seam I've ever sewn in my life, but it doesn't have to be. I'm not overly concerned about it. So cut my ends off. Yeah, you can see this is double-sided scrapbooking paper. This was the other side, and I did actually consider using that side, but I wanted it to tie in with the other side. So, right, that's that. So the next thing that I need to do, well, I don't need to decide this yet, but these are these journaling cards that we've been making, and I've sewn on a piece of acetate onto the bottom portion, and I've put some sequins inside it so they move around. Same thing with this one. And the sequins move around when you move the thing, and they're actually very pretty. So, you know, do we want that one in there? That one fits quite nicely, and it looks quite nice. It's a bit of a contrast, isn't it? Or this one. This one might be just a little bit. Oh no, it's all right. So that's the choice. Probably the turquoise. I'd say it stands out a little bit better. So we'll keep that one. We'll pop the other one away into the vast pile of tags that I have from a boho journal, and want to embellish this one. So I need some trim across the top. That's the first thing I need. In my mind, I've got a choice of two. I've got a yard of this, I don't know what you call it, sequins on a roll, I don't know. But you can cut them any way you want. And I think that might, you know, just a row of two maybe along the top. I think that might look quite nice and in keeping with our journal. Or the alternative that I had was this. And I think this is all I've got left of this, so it would be a good fitting finale for it. I mean, that looks quite nice, doesn't it? I don't know. I might go for this. So I'm just going to cut 2. Do I want 2 or do I want 3? That's 2. It's quite narrow. 3. Oh, decisions. I'm going to cut 3. Yeah, I'm going to cut 3. I've decided. It cuts really easily, this. You just cut it between the whatever they are. I don't think they're stones of any sort, but they are very, very twinkly. How much do I need? Just to about there. Right, so that lives on for another day, and that needs to go along there. Looks nice, doesn't it? I think I'll show you up close. See how twinkly it is. This whole book has become, I don't know about Bohemian, it's become just a twinkly book, really. That's kind of what it is. And I don't know whether to stick that on with my Aleene's tacky glue or stick it on with my glue gun. I think the tacky glue will probably do the job. But I possibly need a fair bit of it because it's mesh, and mesh is always strange because most of the glue seems to want to come up through the holes. Right, let's try that. I think I need some more on the bottom edge there. Don't think I've made it wide enough. Let's take that off just now while it's still wet and put some more down here. That is a lot of glue, but it is quite metallic, this actually. It's a strange thing. So there we are. I don't need to push it down too much. Just make sure that there's a contact there, which there is. And I've got just a little bit of glue trying to make a bid for freedom. Has anybody joined us? Say hi. Let me know who you are, where you are, what you're doing. You don't need to have to do any of that. Just say hi would be nice though. Right, so that's there, and I'm perfectly convinced that that's going to stay there once it dries. So now I want to decorate this cover, and on the other side of this I've put Bohemian. It's a noun and it means gypsy, obviously from a dictionary. It was actually part of an Artie Mays kit, digital kit. But this I found online. And it says, promise me we'll always be this free, dancing for eternity underneath a galaxy of stars. Sounds nice, doesn't it? And I've got these pink flowers that I've had for so long, honestly. And I could never find anything that I thought I'd like to use them with. But I think this might be just the job. I don't know if there's a right and a wrong side, but something like, oh, hello. Something like that perhaps would look quite nice. And I could put a little stone in the centre of each. Not a real stone, you know, pretend jobby. So yeah, I quite like that. I'm going to stick those down and I'm going to use my hot glue gun. So I'll get an instant contact. I'm going to have to put a stone in these because the hot glue is leaving a mark on the right side. So then this one. Over here. You can come out over the side of the pocket if you want to, for that artistic flair. And I'll leave that in place so I know where to stick this one. Get on there, you beaut. Yeah, look at that, it's lovely. Well, I think it's lovely. I like it. So that's me finished, I think, with the glue gun for today. I'll switch it off, and then this just gets stuck on with glue stick. The glue stick seems to be giving off chunks, which I don't want. I like smooth. I want smooth. So I printed this out onto white copy paper. Actually, it's slightly thicker copy paper, and then I went round the edges. I just want to tuck that into there, like that. Perfect. Put it on straight if I can. Yeah, I went round the edges with ink, and then I got carried away and I went over all of it with ink. I used worn, what's it called? Worn lipstick to keep with the pink theme. Right, so that's that. I'm just going to stick a little stone in the centre of those, just to keep the keep the over the topness going. So tiny little bit of glue in there. Whoa. Stick a stone on. Loads of glue there, but never mind. It dries clear. It's hard to get just a teeny tiny bit out. Come on, don't let me down. Don't let me down. It's your job in life. What are you doing? Okay, this doesn't... Oh, it's got the lid on. Well, there's a shocker that the glue didn't come out. That's ridiculous. Oh dear, I bet all of you who saw me put the lid on are going, take the lid off, you silly woman. Never mind, I've got there now. So that in the centre. And this one, just a little bit under there, I think. There we are. So that's quite pretty, I think. I think that's very pretty, actually. I like that. So, there we are. I mean, that's pretty much our page made. But I'm going to go on now to show you how I attach it to the... Well, I might not get all of it done because there's some waiting around for some glue and stuff. But what needs to happen next is I'm just going to take out all the prettiness out of here. It is pretty heavily loaded with goodies, actually. And I need to zigzag along the bottom before I glue it to the other one. And zigzag along the bottom of there. Because all my pages have been zigzagged all the way around, so I want to keep that in keeping. That doily that I stained looks nice, doesn't it? I did that with an ink pad. Peacock feathers, I think it was. Anyway, I'm off to sew this together. Olivia. Oh, lovely Olivia. Thank you very, very much. That's so sweet of you to be watching. I do appreciate it because pretty much talking to myself. Pretty much. Just snip the ends off. Because our hinge is going in here, you see. So once that's there, I can't sew it because it's too thick. So I've got to sew this edge now before we... Mr. Fix-It's lurking. I don't know what he's lurking around at. Are you lurking?
I'm zooming on the sewing machine when you're sewing.
Oh, are you? That's a bit snaz. I'm just going to zigzag around the bottom of that page that we've just made. Really? Okay, Cookie. I didn't realise that we had sewing cam.
Well, it's the same as your face cam. It just moves.
Oh no, make me small.
Yeah, but you have to make you big when you're sewing or they can't see.
Oh no. Alright, okay, so
You look like you're sewing.
ah, that's alright, you can't see me too much. Can you lift me up or something? I don't like it. Right, so these go back to back, but you have to make sure that you get them the right way around. So that's the outside, because the journaling card is going in there. And this is the outside, because everything gets tucked in the top. Let's just go over that one more time. Yeah, everything gets tucked in there. So that's the outside. Yeah. And that's the wrong way around. That's it there. Right. Let's just show this to you. This is the side that's going to have the hinge on. It's making sure in my head, you know, more than yours. I'm sure you've already grasped this. And everything goes in there, and it's easy to pull out because this is the outside edge. Turn the page over. Hinge goes down there, and everything gets pulled out of here, because this is the outside edge. Yay! Marvellous. Right, so do I need to stick that together? Well, it wouldn't be a bad plan, really. Which is the flattest piece? This one, possibly. I'm going to use tacky glue, which is not what I normally use for... oh, here comes the hand.
Don't sew down there, because we need to insert. Don't glue down there.
Ah, yeah, don't glue down there, because I've got to allow room for the insertion of the hinge. Why is it everybody when they do junk journals, or is it just me? See, it's a bit like mind contorting. So I'm going to leave a good bit for the hinge to go in. Put some glue on the rest of it. I am going to sew it together, but you know, I'm not sewing the middle of it or anything, so it needs to be sort of stuck. I can go up a little bit further with that. Okay. So this needs to get stuck onto that pretty squarely as you can manage. Yeah.
I was thinking we could, because you're not sewing through the hinge, we could actually insert the hinge at this point.
Yeah, we could.
And that'd all be glued up. And
yeah. So I'm just going to apply the might of my pressure onto that. Just so it doesn't, there shouldn't be any glue on that side. And I can insert the, it's a bit tiring. I can insert this into here anytime I like now, because that isn't glued. So I'll just show you where it's going. It's going between those two pages. It's going to get glued, and I'm not sure that my sewing machine is able to handle it. So it may just be that it gets glued like that. But you get the picture. Do you get the picture? See what's happening? See what we've made here? But once I stick that in, it needs some weight on it really. So there's not a great deal of point in me sticking that in right at this moment. But I will zigzag around everywhere else so you get the idea of what's going on, or what I'm hoping is going on. So, right, I'll be back in a sec. Oh, I forgot you can see me, can't you? I think you can see me anyway. Good old Mr. Fix-It sorting out these cameras and sewing cam and whatever. He's a clever old stick, actually. It's quite nice being live on my group. I don't even know if I've ever been live on here before, to be honest. Feels a bit more informal. Of course, doing this, you're also reinforcing your pocket edges, and you know, it's not a bad thing to do this, to be honest. Right. You two are a good team. Yeah, we've been a good team for many years, and I can tell you, hand on heart, absolutely hand on heart, we have never shouted at each other, ever. Or argued, have we? Have we ever argued? I don't remember ever arguing with you. Right, so that's that. And the space that we have open is the space at the bottom. Yeah, just let it be big enough. Yeah, where this is going to go. Exactly there, and it will look exactly like that. And you may recognize this as being another piece of that baseboard that we did. It's just this time I've cut it, I say I've cut it, I didn't cut it at all, Mr. Fix-It did it, into the shape that is suitable for there. So that's the page that we had made already. This is the page we made today, which is really pretty. I really like it. So I'm going to start loading it up with the things that are going in it. So this journaling card, it's all covered on the back in dyed paper and zigzagged around. So that goes into there. Leave a good bit of it sticking out because it's nice when you can see what it is. And then into the front, which is really pretty heavily loaded actually, goes these little tags. Also covered on the back. They go in there. Then our two booklets. And this page on its own has got, you know, it's got about as much as you'd get on several pages of junk journals, other people's junk journals. I'm not saying that about everybody. I know some people are loaded to the hilt. So there we are. There is one leaf for our... I'm exhausted now. Oh, Olivia, you're so sweet. Oh dear. The lid, I know, the lid. Only I could do that. Right, so that's kind of it, guys. I have no more to share with you today. And I'm going to lie down in a darkened room. No, it didn't go too badly, did it? I think it was all right. And that's that. So join me again when I will be maybe not doing my boho journal. I might be doing something else that's groovy or interesting or completely different. But then again, I might be doing the boho journal. Who knows? But anyway, I will post an event if I'm an announcement if I'm going to go live on this page. If I'm going live on Miss Paintalot, I'll create an event so you know. Failing that, I'll see you on Thursday, 6 o'clock on Miss Paintalot page where we do a live. But thanks for joining. Olivia, thanks very, very much. You've kept the thing afloat. Very grateful to you. And see you soon. Bye.